Hi everyone, and welcome to episode number 140 of the Karen Knits podcast. My name is Karen, and I'm coming to you from South Central Pennsylvania, where I live, where I work, where I knit, and get into all kinds of other crafting shenanigans. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. It is Saturday, December 17th, 2022, and it's kind of an overcast, cold day out here. I don't have to go outside. It's all good. I'm fine with that. I can stay home and knit all day. So that's my plan. Do some videotaping and knit. I'm drinking just a plain old cup of black tea, my Christmas cup. So if you're a new viewer, thank you so much for coming by to check out my channel. I hope you enjoy it here. I'm so happy to have you here. If you're a returning viewer, I'm so happy that you've come back for another week to see what I've been up to and see what I've accomplished. I'm always so happy to have you here with me. If any of you have not yet subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you would do so. If you enjoy what you see here, I would be so happy if you would subscribe to my little channel. It really helps. And like the video, hit the bell notification. It all brings a little bit of attention and helps me out in the YouTube algorithm stuff. But no pressure. So it's a nice winter day here. I've been doing a fair bit of knitting the last week or so. I've also had a lot of school things to finish up and wind down with. This last week was the last week or the week of final exams on campus. So I had a bunch of grading to finish up, final grades to submit, emails to deal with, all that end of semester wind down stuff. So all of that is done. I am officially on our holiday break right now. So I do have some research stuff I need to work on over the break, but I don't have a lot of class related things to do. Other than after the, well, not after the break, but after we've been through Christmas, the week after Christmas, I need to get going on double checking, make sure that my syllabus are ready for my courses coming up starting in January, but I'm not going to worry about that until I'm not worrying about that for another week, or at least a week or more. Not before Christmas. I'm going to wait for Christmas to come and go first, and then I'll get back to work on making sure things are ready for the new semester to start in January. So I've had a fairly busy week knitting. I'm behind on all of my Advent knitting. I know, I always know this is coming. I don't think I've yet been able to keep up all the way through Advent knitting. I always bite off more than I chew, or more than I can chew, and I always forget, not really forget, but I always misjudge how much time finishing up a school semester takes out of my time. But it's all good. So I do have a finished object this week. You can see him sitting there staring at us. He is my little Wonky Wiener dog. He is so wonky. And oh my goodness, he was the fiddliest little guy to make. He's cute. I love him. But oh boy, is he wonky. Yes, he's bow-legged on both ends. One leg is bigger than the other. I didn't stuff him quite as good in this section as I probably should have. He's just wonky. But he's done. He was really fiddly to make. I know I talked about this on several of my vlogs this past week. Well, actually, I think I only worked on him for 3 days. I think I cast him on Thursday. believe it was Thursday. Started him on Thursday, worked on him on Friday, and I sewed him up, and I did the knitting part Thursday and Friday, and I sewed him up this morning, and sewed him up and stuffed him, and then did the little final details, like putting his little bug eyes on. They're kind of wonky. I think he's got one eye is bigger than the other. Oh, this poor little guy. I hope my friend likes him. And if she doesn't, she probably wouldn't tell me, and we'll be fine. But he's done. It was a kit that my hubby spotted in a bookstore closing we were at this summer. And I thought it's perfect. My sidekick at work has, over the years, she's had 2 wiener dogs. Has one now. One of them passed away, sadly. Even his tail is wonky. Oh, my poor little Wonky Wiener dog. But he's cute. I can't help but laugh at the poor guy. Anyway, so that's my finished object. It was a kit, so everything was included. The knitting needles, the brown, the black, and the red yarn. A tapestry needle. I never used the tapestry needle, I just used my own. The pattern, the stuffing, everything you needed was included. So, as my Wonky Wiener dog. He was kind of fun to knit. It was just very fiddly. So first you knit the right back leg, then the left back leg, then the right front leg, then the left front leg. You had all 4 of those pieces on. Some of the stitches were kept live and kept on a stitch holder. I just had them on an extra DPNs. Then you knit the right side. So you did a few stitches, picked up the front leg, knit along for a while more. Then you picked up the back legs and back and forth, and then you did the same thing on the opposite side. Then you had to knit the neck. So you picked up stitches again there that you had on hold on the 2 side pieces. You picked those up and then did short rows to come over, like over to shape the back of his head, and then come down his nose. Then you had to knit the tail, the ears, the belly strip. So there was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold on, 1, 2. There's like 11 different pieces in this little guy, including the collar. So you knit all these different pieces. There was a million ends to sort of tuck in. I wasn't too worried about that because it's not going to get a lot of wear and tear, I hope, unless she lets her dog play with this dog. It's hers. She just do with it what she wants. Right, so most of the pieces were knit flat. So first you stitched each of the legs closed, then you stitched down the back, then you stitched along, sewed up along the chin, then you had to attach the whole belly panel all the way down to his bottom. And you had to sew on the tail, you had to sew on the ears, sew up or do up his little eyes and his little nose, and stitch the collar. You just stitched, it was just like a little tiny straight strip you did, and then you just stitched the end together, and it's removable. That's removable. So there's all these little parts that had to be sewn up. There's a couple spots where my gauge wasn't, or maybe you've stuffed it too full. The needles might have been too big for the fabric, or to create this fabric, because some of the stuffing is showing through. I don't care. This is my Wonky Wiener dog. And I'm going to go over to my friend's place sometime this week coming up. Monday, Tuesday, we'll figure that out. We've got time to figure that out. She doesn't live too far from me. It's only about a 15-minute drive. So we'll go and deliver the little Wonky Wiener dog to her in a few days. So he's all done. So because I had to finish him, I did get behind on my Advent knitting. I had been keeping up quite well with my Advent scarf. So that's a pattern by Trisha Weatherston. And 3 balls of yarn, they all went, they're gone. Oh heavens. Oh, and they rolled off and went tucked under there. They're under the chair. Anyway, let me get this untangled. I still have a few ends left to take care of on here. Not many. I've been doing a pretty good job keeping up with tucking in the tails on a regular basis. But here's where I am now. I am midway through day 15. So I'm not far behind. So half of day 15, the rest of 16 and 17 to do. But here's where I'm at right now. When you saw it last, we were at the green marker. So I've added a fair bit since we last talked. I have this pink marker on here because the purple is the halfway point. So what I've opted to do is I'm going to reverse the colors going to this end and reverse them from what I've done on the first half of the scarf. And what I'm doing is where I have the tan and peach on this spot, I've just flipped them so I have the peach and tan. And I'm doing the same as I've done here. I've got the burgundy and red, and then I've done red and burgundy, and I've switched to the gray. So I'm going to keep doing that the rest of the way. And I've just put the pink marker on here to mark which was the last one I did. So next we'll switch. We're doing the purple on the opposite side. Then we'll do these 2 colors and continue on until we've mirrored the colors all the way down the second half. I only have a few ends to weave in. There are quite a few ends in general on this scarf, but they're quick and easy to weave in on a regular basis. Every few days I just tuck in a few more tails. Someone had mentioned in a comment, I don't remember if it was on my video last week or on my Vlogmas videos, that to maybe try the Weave and Steven technique. And I do that often if I'm changing colors on socks or on a shawl where I've got a lot of knit stitches. I don't like using that technique. Maybe I'm doing it wrong when I'm trying to weave in the stitch on the purl side, because I find that that brings the part that's being woven in to the front of the fabric, and I want it kept on the back of the fabric. Maybe I'm doing it wrong when I'm doing it for a purl stitch, but it's not that daunting. It looks like a lot of tails, but I honestly don't mind. I don't mind tucking in the tails. Maybe I'm a little bit weird that way. I don't mind. I find it very meditative just to sit there and weave in ends. So after I'm finished filming today and done the editing and all that good stuff, I'm going to sit down with the pattern and the Advent scarf and try to catch up. I suspect the rest of today I'll be able to finish day 15 and hopefully finish day 16 as well. We'll see. So we still have a few other things that have to be done this afternoon and evening and all that good stuff. But I'll see if I can get closer to caught up with that one. That's my big goal right now, is to catch up on the Advent scarf. My highest priority was finishing the the Wonky Wiener dog. So he was the #1 priority, so he's pretty much all I worked on in the last couple days. So after I'm done, back to the Advent scarf. I've also worked a fair bit earlier in the week on my anthology throw. So this is a pattern by Helen Stewart, and I am quite a ways behind on this one, a long ways behind. For this, I am using an Advent kit that I bought from Orlando Fiber Arts. I hope you can see that. I'm balancing it on my forehead. I hope you were able to see that. So I'm using this Advent set to work on this shawl, or throw, whatever you want to call it. And as I said, I'm behind. I'm on day 7, and I've opened up the yarn up to day 17. So I'm less than halfway on track, and I'm fine with that. This one I find is quite a lot of knitting, so I'll catch up when I catch up. I'm not too worried about that. But here's where I am now. Where is my marker? This is where we were last week, down here. So I've added a little bit, finished day 5, finished day 6, and have a start on day 7. And it's coming along nicely. I'm going to try to get some work done on this one tomorrow and get back into the rhythm of working on both my Advent scarf and the anthology throw each day, so that I can get a little closer to finished on both of them. Although I won't finish the anthology throw during, I don't think it's at all possible for me to finish it before the 24th and 25th of December rolls around. I don't think it's possible. My hands won't let that. But I'm fine with that. I'll just happily knit along nice and slow and just enjoy the process. And I've also, with my Advent yarn scraps, I'm making a pair of toe-up scrappy socks. So I have the first 6 colors are added in. So once I'm done round 7 or color 7 on the throw, I'll use the little bit of leftover to do a few rows on here. And I think these are going to make a really nice pair of socks once they're done. Nice and bright and colorful. But I'm just using a basic toe-up sock pattern. It will have, I'm using contrasting toe. I'll also do heel and cuff in the bare yarn. And I'll have a cool pair of socks once Advent is all over and I have the anthology throw done. So right now I'm on finished day 6 on that. Once I'm done day 7 on the throw, I'll add the little extras into the socks and continue back and forth between those. So those, again, basic toe up. I did just the plain vanilla. Contrasting toe, it has a gusset increasing on the foot, then it does a heel turn and heel flap, and then continues vanilla the rest of the way up the sock. So those will eventually be done, and the anthology throw will eventually be done. I am hoping to have the Advent scarf done not long after Christmas. I know we get clues up until Christmas Eve. I'm kind of hoping I can catch up again and actually finish it on Christmas Eve, so I can block it Christmas Day or on Boxing Day or on the 26th. We shall see. But that's my plan. I would love to cast on something more. There's always fun things there's always things that are catching my attention and I want to cast on something more. I'd like to make a pair of bed socks for myself. I'm finding my feet have been cold during the night, so I think I'll use some of my sport weight yarn and make myself a pair of bed socks. But I need to work on catching up on my Advent scarf first. The little wonky dog took a little bit of time away from working on my Advent stuff. It's my own fault. I should have. I had the wonky dog kit since the spring or early summer. I've had lots of time to make it. I just procrastinated and didn't do it and didn't start it until a couple days ago. It's my own fault. So it is what it is. So I want to make a pair of bed socks for myself. I also have from the Knit Vent set from Helen Stewart, I want to make the Oddments cowl. I have a 5 skein set of minis from Moonstone Dye Works that I bought a while back, and I want to use those to make the Oddments cowl, but I won't start that until I'm finished all 3 of my Advent projects. So those 3 have to all be off the needles before I'm going to cast on that one. Because I already have 2 other whips that I haven't touched since Advent season began. So my twists and turns shawl has just been ignored for the last almost 3 weeks, and same with my Rachel top. That's been ignored recently as well. So, oops. So we don't have much planned over the holidays. It's just going to be some quiet time between the hubby and I here. We don't do a lot of traveling. His family, his siblings are all up in Canada, so it's tricky for traveling. My mom and sister are also up in Canada, so the weather is always so iffy traveling north, and international traveling and everything during the holidays with airlines, and it's just, no. My mom was saying just don't try traveling during Christmas season. She said just wait, come back out and visit again next summer. So that's my plan. So we're just going to spend a quiet Christmas, just the 2 of us here, which will be nice. We have planned on Christmas Day. We are going to, it's Christmas Day falls on a Sunday, so we'll have church in the morning. Hubby has to work, he'll be working, he'll be preaching Sunday morning. And then after church, we'll come home, have a little light bite to eat, slowly open gifts and cards and whatnot from each other, and just relax for the afternoon. We've done for the last several years now, we like to do for our Christmas dinner, we like to do a seafood dinner. So we have a shrimp ring already, that's in the freezer. So we want that as an appetizer. Then what we want to get are some crab cakes, so we can cook those up. I'm going to make a big batch of shrimp fried rice. We want to get some scallops and cook that up with bacon and butter and garlic, because that's so good. And maybe some kind of seafood soup. Last year we got a container of lobster bisque. It was delicious. And probably some kind of buns or bread product. We probably should have a vegetable. You think we probably need a vegetable, don't we? I put peas and carrots and onion in the fried rice. Does that count? That's enough vegetable for us. Anyway, and I'd like to get some buns and just some little small dinner rolls to have with supper. So that's our plan for our Christmas dinner. And for dessert, I think we want to get one of those little trays that have the variety pack of different types of cheesecakes, and they're just like several different varieties, each done up in each done up in a slice, and so there's like 3 or 4 different types of cheesecake in there. So both of us were, it's kind of funny, I was thinking in the back of my mind I would love to have just little miniature cheesecakes for dessert on Christmas. And then later that day or the next day, when we were starting to get a bit of grocery list together, my husband was saying, he said, you know what would be really good for dessert? He said, one of those trays that have the slices of different flavored cheesecakes. So it's like, so clearly we need to have cheesecakes for dessert on Christmas. So we'll get the, we'll hunt down one of those little trays that have like the 8 slices, and then we'll have it over multiple days. So just pop them in the freezer and then just take out a couple slices as we need it, so they'll last for a while. So those are our plans for Christmas. And we'll get on the phone with, we typically get on the phone with the hubby's sister and his brother, and we chat with we'll get on the phone with different family members and talk with all of them and just spend a quiet time. I suspect I will be podcasting both on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. It's because I like staying in a routine. So I probably will post a video both Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. I don't know if anyone will have the time or the interest in watching them because I've been so busy with everything else Christmas and New Year's related, but that's fine. So I still have over a week to go on Vlogmas. I'm really enjoying it. I'm also finding they're probably kind of boring videos because I don't lead a very exciting life. It is what it is. But I'm having fun filming them. So I'm not sure if everyone watches both the podcast and the Vlogmas videos or only one or the other. It's all good. So on that note, I should get going so I can get this editing done and get some knitting done on my Advent scarf. See if I can get day 15 done before supper time. That's my plan. Alrighty, I shall let you go, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye.